Nathan's eyes stared into the face of the short youth clad in blue. Both of them were ready to draw their blades at the slightest hint of movement from the other. Before anything could happen, Sarah Hale stepped in between them. She pressed a calming hand on the short youth.
"Boris, wait. I know this boy. Let me talk to him before things get out of hand. I'll persuade him on your behalf."
"Huh.
Talk to him quickly, then."
Boris's nostrils flared as he slowly let go of his grip on his sword hilt and backed away from Nathan. Despite the boy's words, his eyes pleaded with Nathan to make a move against him. Sarah quickly blocked Nathan's view of Boris as she smiled pleasantly at him.
"Hello, Nathan. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you since you left the academy." "Yes, it's true. You watched me from the crowd as they almost had me arrested." "I got there after it happened. I wasn't like Stuart. There was nothing I could do to stop them." Funny how everyone on that day recalls that they arrived too late to see anything. "Listen, I'm sorry, all right? Even my father's high house is weaker than the Ravens. If I intervened, there would have been dire consequences. Besides, we barely knew each other in school." "Just say what you must say and then move on. My sister and I have places to be." Sarah sighed. She motioned over to Boris and the taller boys in her group. "Nathan, please, just give them the snow rose. It's just a flower, after all." "If it's just a flower, then they can buy a different one." Sarah leaned in closer to Nathan and whispered in his ear. "See that boy over there you almost fought? That's Boris Olafsson, the eldest son from High House of Olafsson. They're the strongest noble family in the neighboring fiefdom of Haraldsland to the north. They're many times more influential than any of the high houses in Godricshall. You can't afford to offend someone like that." "So what? I was here first, and if he wishes to make a fuss over it, then they can add their names to the list of powerful houses that wish me dead. It's all the same to me." Sarah shook her head, exacerbated with her former schoolmate. She whispered in Nathan's ear even quieter this time, while pointing out the tallest boy in the group. "It's not the same at all. You don't get it, Nathan. See that tall boy next to Boris? That's Hager Haraldsson himself. He's the heir to the entire Haraldsland fiefdom. His father is the Duke over there. They're only here because they're looking to pick out a gift for young Donald Lightstone's birthday party." Nathan's brow furrowed. This new information changed things, but only slightly. The fiefdom of Haraldsland was to the north of Godricshall, and was one of the stronger fiefdoms in the kingdom of Calandria. Duke Haraldsson was at least as powerful as Duke Godricshall, if not more so. Each of them ran their lands largely autonomously, without much interference from the king himself. After all, there were only 4 fiefdoms in the entire kingdom, so each duke had a large say over how their parcel of land was governed. The fact that Hager Haraldsson was Duke Haraldsson's son meant that Nathan ought to be careful with how he handled the situation. Otherwise, it could lead to an inter-fiefdom incident that could cause conflict between the two lands. Even still, Nathan was in no mood to give up on the rare gift Amelia wished to present to Sir Ian's sister Donna. Nathan responded loud enough for all in the shop to hear. "So what? I've never heard of House Olafsson. Why should they have the present my sister found? We'll not be bullied into giving it up, no matter how rich these fellows are." Sarah groaned. "Heavens guide me! Since when were you so ungrateful? I'm trying to be your friend and save you from this trouble, but obviously you're looking for a fight." "You're trying to be my friend? Oh, I thought you said we barely knew each other." Sarah simply shook her head as Boris returned to Sarah's side, his face bright red like an apple. Before Boris could retort, Amelia once again grabbed Nathan's shoulder and held him back. "Nathan, just forget it. Let's just give it to them. We don't need it. We can just go someplace else. It's not worth offending all these sons of powerful lords."
Boris scoffed and pointed his finger at Nathan.
"It's too late now. You've insulted our honor, and you've insulted me personally. Lady Hale, please step aside and watch as I teach your former classmate a lesson his foolish parents never gave him. This is one he'll never forget."
Nathan gently moved Amelia to the side as he stepped towards Boris once more. All of the pain and heartbreak surrounding his mother's death swirled around in his head. He may not have the killer right in front of him, but he certainly had someone he could punish.
"Oh, now you've done it, friend. You may insult me all you like, but bring my parents into this, and you'll not leave this store in one piece." "Oh, is that a threat now?" "I do not threaten, sir. I merely speak the truth."
The moment Nathan said this, Sarah Hale knew her diplomacy had failed. Suddenly, she stepped back toward Hagar, who was about to step into the fray himself and intervene to try to cool everyone down. Now, after such tense words, he simply watched and waited.
"This Hayfield boy sure has a tongue on him. I'd better not get in the way of two hotheads boiling over. Well, no matter. Boris will make him think twice before flying off the handle like this again. After all, we can't let these people of Godricshall land think that they can bully us folk from Harold's land."
Boris took another step closer to Nathan until they were right in each other's faces. Finally, Boris chuckled and flashed a toothy grin at his opponent.
"Not backing down. I like it. Very well, then. Let's see your bite. I, Boris Olafson, hereby challenge you to a duel. I do hope you're worth my time, pipsqueak. Perhaps, if it's a worthy fight, I'll write a poem to memorialize you."
Sarah Hale bit her lip. She knew that one way or another, this was going to end badly.
"Nathan, please, apologize while you still can. Boris is a 4th-level apprentice. He's only a few levels below Sir Ian. If you're not careful, he'll take your life."
Even after everything, Sarah couldn't help try one last time to push Nathan to consider common sense. They were both young spiritual warriors of Godricshall, after all. Nathan merely shrugged, not even a bit concerned by her words. Sarah raced to the door, furious with all of them.
"Fine. Have it your way, you fools. This fight is pointless. The Lightstones won't at all be pleased with this."
Sarah slammed the door shut behind her as she left the shop. Surprising all but Amelia, Nathan grinned back at Boris, not even the least bit intimidated.
"I accept your challenge, but I doubt you'll be able to write anything afterward."
Legally speaking, Nathan's public acceptance meant that this was no longer an illegal private matter, but a public disagreement that the Duke's guards would accept. Boris nodded as he drew his sword slowly.
"Shing!"
"Speak your full name, young warrior. I do not kill without knowing my enemy."
"Nathan Hayfield is my name, from the noble house Hayfield of Godricshall." "Shing!"
Nathan obligingly unsheathed his blade, as everyone else in the shop stepped back to give them space. Sensing the inevitability of the conflict, the shopkeeper frantically hopped over the counter and rushed in between them, throwing up an arm in each of their directions.
"Stop, please, young masters. I have other customers here. My shop can't handle this."
Boris chuckled.
"What other customers, old man? Your shop's so overpriced that we're the only ones in here. Besides, I'll pay whatever the damages are."
Nathan also smiled at the anxious shopkeeper. He found the man's fear amusing. Given Nathan's true strength, the idea of a long, drawn-out conflict tearing up the store felt ridiculous to him.
"Don't worry, shopkeeper. I'll finish him without so much as a scratch to your store."
Amelia frowned as she stepped back towards the edge of the counter.
"Be careful, Nathan. If you get hurt at all, I'll murder you myself."
Nathan smiled at Amelia.
"Don't worry, sis. We'll be on our way shortly."
Then he turned over to the shopkeeper, who had slowly crept out of the space between the two swordsmen.
"Shopkeeper, go ahead and start packaging that snow rose for me. I'll ask for it once more in a moment."
Amelia looked at the high mountain snow rose encased in glass beside her and cursed the fact that she had noticed it at all. Now Nathan's life was once again on the line, all because of a stupid flower. Boris raised his blade over his head as he shouted toward Nathan.
"Hog shit! Shopkeeper, do no such thing. You better shut up now. You're really pissing me off."
Boris rushed towards Nathan with his blade over his head. As he moved, his blade glowed a dull purple color, and Nathan smiled.
"Ah, so this Boris fellow is a spellcaster of the power of chaos, another form of magic taught by the mysterious Chaos faction. I wonder how that'll be fair when faced with my power of Asura."
But before Boris's blow could strike, Nathan remembered something else.
Whoosh!
Boris sliced through the air where Nathan had stood only a second before. But before he could strike again, Nathan leapt over to Hagar and held up a hand.
"Wait, I just remembered something important."
Boris scoffed as he raised his blade above his head once more.
"Ha! All that talk and now you wish to yield? I won't let you off that easily."
Nathan ignored Boris and instead turned towards Hagar.
"Young Master Haraldson, as the highest noble present, are you willing to testify to the sanctity of this duel as an impartial judge?"
Yes, of course. Your duel is first to yield or to death. Either way, I'll take care of whatever the consequences are."
"Even if your man loses?"
"No matter who dies, I will be responsible. After all, I'm the son of a duke, not some villainous schemer. No, I will ensure the fight is an honorable one. That is the only way to handle this."
"Good. I just wanted to make sure. That's gotten me into a mess of trouble in the past."
Nathan turned back to Boris and raised his sword. Behind him, a couple of lower nobles that came with Boris and Sarah began to cheer him on. They laughed and jeered at their hot-headed friend, absolutely certain of his victory, but also relishing the opportunity to mock him.
"Come on, Boris. Don't let him make a fool of you. Yeah, wipe him out. Show these Godricshlanders that they can't mess with Harold's land. Make him wish he never even met you."
Boris twirled his sword in his hands, showing off for his little audience as he taunted Nathan further.
"It's a pity I don't have a larger audience. Otherwise, I'd make you bend the knee and cry out for mercy."
"How generous of you. I will not be as forgiving." Boris's face twitched as he raised his sword up. He'd had enough of Nathan's words. Like a wild animal, all he could do was think of quieting his prey. A deep bloodlust filled his head as he saw red and snarled.
"Enough posturing. I'll strike you down, you loud-mouthed bastard."
Nathan took up a defensive stance, with his broadsword loosely hanging by his side. He beckoned Boris towards him with a flick of his left hand. Coldly, he nodded at Boris.
"Come and get me, then.